Hey Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is Tina with 85th House Vibrations, and this is your monthly reading for me. Believe it or not, we are there. This is a general reading that won't resonate with everybody. Aries, I need to say this right off the bat before I get into the specifics of what we're doing today. For those of you who are in a relationship, there's been some conflict, there has been some harsh words spoken, some heartbreak. Now this, of course, is not going to be for all of you Aries. But for those of you, that small pocket of you, or maybe a larger pocket, this is definitely going to be some information you could use. So there's been some conflict, there's been some heartbreak with the romantic partner. Either you and for some of you Aries, this is a Virgo. You need to take some time away from that Virgo, or that Virgo be needing to take some time away from you. Whatever the case be, there's a need for the both of you to kind of walk your own path for a little bit. But hold up, stay with me. If it is not a Virgo, it is somebody who is it's somebody who kind of likes their quiet time. They like to be alone. And Aries, this just could be you. You know, you could be this way. Make sure I got this right. I feel like I'm missing something. I'll tell you what we're doing in a minute. Okay. I did the heavy shuffling off camera, and we're using the Tarot Dreams. Anyway, Aries, like I was saying, there is definitely going to be a need for you guys to kind of go your own way for a minute. So if you've got somebody in your life, and for a lot of you it's going to be a Virgo, who is requesting some time alone, don't take it personal. Let them do what they need to do. Let them take that time. Let them walk their own path. And again, Aries, this could be you that's needing that. I was trying to get, that's not looking right. Anyway, I feel like what has happened between two of you is it have been hot and heavy and real powerful for a minute, but things have really cooled off. And I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't know if that is because of there's been some conflict that you guys have had. I mean, and it's been conflict to the point where somebody was willing to take the other person all the way down in order to get their point across, in order to make themselves heard. And it has definitely caused some issues. So there's a need, I think, for you guys to separate for a while. Now, the thing about it is, I don't feel as if the relationship is over, and that may not be what you want to hear, or maybe it is, but with the time that you guys take apart, the whole situation is still not complete. So, you know, just keep that in mind as you take time away, whether you need that for your own reassurance, or whether you need to know that so that when this person pops up again, you understand that there's a need to go ahead and reunite or whatever with this person, because there's definitely something that needs to be worked out before the situation can be completed, whether you stay in the relationship or whether you walk away. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, if I hadn't said before, the moon is in Libra. Happy New Year to you guys. If you celebrate the new year, we are coming into that time of the year. We're just a couple of days away. And I guess let's go ahead and get started. I'm using the planetary spread. If you have been with me for a while, you know about the planetary spread, because I used to do this like maybe a year or so ago, and then I stopped. But I think I started doing the 3 cards, but it looks like everybody kind of likes more cards. I get it. So we're back to the planetary spread, and this is the first time that I've done it in well over a year, like I said before. So we're going to warm back up into it. And if you're interested, you can check out some of my older videos and you see the spread. All right, so let's get started. The first card is the Sun card, and it's the self. about yourself and who your core character. Find your core character, Sean. The next one is this is about home and family life. This card is represented by the moon. This card is about communication, skills. This is the Mercury card. This one is about love, desire, romance. This is the Venus card. This next card is about aggression and passion. Passion doesn't always have to be positive. Passion can be very aggressive. This is the Mars card. The next card is wealth, good luck, acquisitions. This is the Jupiter card. This card is about your obstacles, your setbacks, and also maybe what you're being taught, your responsibilities. This is the Saturn card, and this last card is the outcome. United States. All right, so let's hop to it. Aries. This is a Four of Wands, the Venus and Aries card. Interesting because we're doing the Aries reading. I want to point out too that this is a Sun and Virgo card, and I said at the top of this reading, Aries for you. A lot of you, this is a Virgo you're dealing with. I see there's some opposition between what's going on here with the self and what's going on here with the Virgo, because these are opposite one another. Anyway, the Four of Wands upright is a really good card. And this is about foundation. It's about having something solid. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it's generally about marriage. You see people that are looking towards a house. They're looking towards a home. And they have generally just tied the little old knot. So maybe for some of you Aries, maybe you are actually married. Maybe you just recently got married. Or maybe you just recently moved in together. And your goal is to create a solid foundation, a solid structure. That's who you are. That's what you're feeling. That's your core character, Sean. I keep saying that's a Malibu's Most Wanted line. So don't worry about the Sean thing. But this is what you're about right now. This is what you desire with Venus being here. This is what you're working towards, Aries. The problem is there's conflict. I said that before. Really it's trivial. There's a whole lot of barking and yelling and words being said. But in the end, whatever it is that's going on, I don't think that this person's trying to hurt you, or maybe you're not intentionally trying to hurt them. But what I am telling you is that's what's happening. That's more than likely what's happening, which is why it seems like you guys could possibly need a break from one another. This is a Saturn in Leo card, and I always say about Saturn and Leo is, Saturn's trying to make you responsible. It's trying to help you set a foundation. It's trying to help you be secure in things. Saturn is restrictive, and Leo is very expansive, represented by the sun, and it wants to shine the light on everything. It wants to do the most, and Saturn is saying, well, no, we can't do the most. So, that's a bit of conflict. You want to be, or somebody wants the freedom to be who they are and express themselves the way that they feel truthful, and it might be very expansive, even a little dogmatic and arrogant, but, that's just kind of the way they express. But here somebody is trying to be restricted. Somebody feels like there needs to be structure around the home and around the way that people operate in the home, in the family life. And somehow it is causing some conflict, but nobody's really trying to hurt the other person, but I think inadvertently they might be. So the next card being what we talked about, Mercury, communication, skills, assets. The home is being affected. This is the Chariot card, and it's ruled by the sign of Cancer. Cancer rules the moon. There's conflict going on in the home, and it's keeping you guys from moving forward. Even if this is what your desire is, even if this is your self, this is who you are, this is what you want right now, there's definitely some issues that are keeping you from moving forward. And I think the more that you fight, the more that there's conflict between you, the more that somebody loses their willpower within the relationship. And I think that's kind of what makes the other person, or maybe the both of you, want to go on your way for a little bit. The issue is the inability to communicate, because for whatever reason within this relationship, this is the Page of Swords reversed, the communication is a little immature. And I think that is because of the fact that somebody just wants to say whatever's on their mind right in that particular moment, and they just go for it without thinking about it, and that's immature. So, and this could be a person that you're dealing with. The Page of Swords could also be, Page of Swords could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But it doesn't have to be. It's just be somebody who's popping off at the mouth, and not thinking about what they're saying. But I do feel for a lot of you, this is about Virgo. But keep in mind these other signs I said, and if not that sign, then somebody who just doesn't really, who communicates rather poorly. It's not structured. It's not maybe even valid at this point, the things that one might say. The next card is the Mars card, and this is our passion. This is our aggression. Aries, you might be feeling aggressive towards a Virgo. This is a Sun and Virgo card, and you'll be concentrating very intently on what it is that's making you feel aggressive about this particular Virgo. Now, the other thing could be that the Virgo themselves is concentrating on something else, maybe like their job, maybe like obtaining things, and this is causing some conflict between the two of you because maybe you need their attention, and the Virgo seems to be paying attention to something else, someone else, and that's causing conflict, and it's causing you guys to keep from moving forward. The next card, which is in the Jupiter position, is the Ten of Wands. This is a Saturn and Sagittarius card. This is another instance of the planet Saturn trying to restrict the energy of the Sagittarian, which is expansive, which wants to move around, and there's some sort of restriction going on here. Now, this is in the Jupiter position, and while we talked about Jupiter being good luck and wealth and acquisitions and things like that, well, there's a duality to everything. And the thing with Jupiter is that it expands whatever it touches, anything from your money to your waistline. So what's happening here with the Ten of Wands, if you can see this is a whole lot of stuff that's going on. This person feels like they've got a lot on their back, and they do, and they feel crushed under the pressure. The energy is lacking. Now, Mars is getting ready to move into your sign, Aries, right on January 1st, which is where Mars likes to be. So hopefully, as you go into the month of January, if you've been feeling some lack of energy, especially throughout all of this, hopefully that'll come back to you, because the tens are about endings and new beginnings. So even though it feels heavy now, it's like I said before, this is really not over. There's some things to work out, and there is a lot of work to be done. And you feel crushed under the pressure. And Jupiter here in the Jupiter position, for a moment, it's going to only expand that and make it feel like more than you can really be bothered with. Or, maybe that's the way that the other person feels. The card in the Saturn position, which is our responsibilities, our restrictions, Saturn teaches us how to be a grown-up. We got the Nine of Wands reversed. This is also Sagittarius energy. This is Moon in Sagittarius. So again, there's that restriction. It's like somebody wants to venture out and do something. Somebody's definitely concentrating on something else, and it's causing problems. And the problems aren't being communicated very well, because people are just immediately in their feelings. They're in what's happening right now. So it's whatever comes to mind, I'm going to say that shit. That's what's going on. That's the way I feel. But that's causing problems. And it's causing somebody to feel like they are breaking under the weight of all of this animosity, I think. So anyway, back to the Nine of Wands. I feel like somebody has some loose ends to wrap up for one. And then somebody is feeling restricted, maybe even confined. And I think I had said that too when we talked about this. There's somebody, which I think is you, Aries, that wants structure in the home setting, in the family setting. This is what you feel like is necessary, which, for an Aries, is actually kind of the opposite of what we think of the Aries archetype. But there's so much more to it than your sun sign. So there are some Aries that definitely have your feet on the ground. You got your head on straight. I'm not saying that Aries don't have their head on straight, but Aries can generally be the one feeling restricted, and it could be you. Aries likes to move around a lot. But with this being yourself, your core character, Sean, like I said before, you are wanting some structure. I think even if you want to move around a lot, even if you've got a lot of fire and a lot of passion, there's a part of you that knows what structure and foundation is, and you're needing somebody to settle down, I think. Or maybe they are needing you to settle down. The outcome is the Knight of Swords. Again, we have the Swords, which is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. The outcome is y'all continue to go hard, at least for the month of January. Because the Knight of Swords does not care what he says. Now, this is some underdeveloped communication. It's immature. The Knight of Swords has now gotten to the point where he feels like he knows a lot more, even though he's got a lot to learn. And, it doesn't matter what you say. The Knight of Swords is going to get in your ass, period. That's the outcome, for January. Now, just keep in mind what I said initially, and that is that it would be a good idea if you maybe took some time apart, even if that's just 3 minutes. If you find yourself going through this conflict again and it's round and round and round and round, then separate, go to another room, take some time to cool off and think about it. Yeah, because it's not over. Even if you want it to be, right now it's not over. Let's see how things look in February. And that's the way I see it, Aries. And if anybody would like to get a reading with me, my information is down in the description box below. You can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter. I would love to hear you guys' comments. Tell me what you think. And I hope to talk to you guys again next month.